There's some real problems at Ford dealerships. They're loaded to the brim with inventory. They don't know where to put these vehicles. They're declining allocations from the manufacturer, and a lot of what they have is 2024 models. Ford had one good month because they announced employee pricing. They did convince with marketing to get people to buy these vehicles, but most are saying they went through their customers, so the rest of the year is going to be a challenge for them. And the only way they can sell these vehicles is with discounts. But honestly, is it enough? We're talking about $100,000 F-150s, literally 100 grand for trucks at your local Ford dealership. And of course, they got rid of any sort of affordable vehicle. I mean, I guess they have the Maverick, but good luck finding one under 30 grand. They don't offer any sedans. It's all trucks and SUVs, and it's what makes them the most money. And it's always higher trim, so good luck getting a base model. That's part of the problem. Dealers are loaded up with higher trim levels, and do they really think that's their customer base? Like, I know they're financing for 84 plus months. That's the only way they can sell these vehicles with super high payments. I mean, $1,000 payments is just the average. So it's definitely not sustainable for a long time. People just can't afford it. That's why the vehicles that sit the longest are generally the $100,000+ F-150s or $100,000 Bronco Raptor. Those things are sitting and not selling. They're overpriced, and think about it. Who wants to spend 100 grand on a Bronco Raptor? The amount of money you will lose at appreciation is crazy because dealerships feel like, oh, it's a Raptor, we can't discount it. There's no rebates, there's nothing we can do. You got to pay MSRP. So you're going to end up losing so much money buying this Raptor. It's insane. And on the dealership standpoint, they're having all this inventory, sometimes 2023 still on the lot in 2025. So it's a problem because they're financing all this inventory. They have something called a floor plan, and the longer it sits, the more interest they pay and the more it costs them and the more they have to discount that vehicle to sell it. But that's how you know someone made a huge mistake. Just the fact that 2023s are getting stuck at Ford dealerships right now in 2025, yeah, that's a problem. It shows the price is too high, the discount's not enough, and people just don't want that vehicle. And then also the quality issue with Ford. You guys know him as the recall king probably. Every single year, normally, they have more recalls than any other automotive manufacturer. But I think last year they got beat out by Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, but this year it's no competition. They've already had over 50 recalls this year. But it seems like every single week there's a new recall and more issues and another million vehicles affected. But Ford's doing it on purpose, planned obsolescence. Do they want these vehicles to last forever? I don't think so. They're building it not to last. They're building it as cheap as they can. Why would they want to put more money and invest into building something that lasts longer? Because in their mindset, I think if something does come up, we'll just do a recall, because every vehicle they sell, it's almost a 100% chance if you buy a brand new Ford, you are going to have to go in for a recall. So for the prices they're charging, you would think you would get a perfect vehicle without any issues, especially buying a brand new Ford, $80, $90, $120,000. And that's where people don't understand. They're like, what, 120 grand for a Ford? But that's where they're at, especially those higher trims, higher models. It's easily over $100,000. And some Ford dealerships are offering discounts, but most are saying it's nowhere near enough. It's not even close. And Ford does have fleet, which they do sell a lot of companies' fleet vehicles. And some dealerships require you to have a fleet code to buy that base model work truck Ford. So it's like you're not even able to buy from some dealerships. They want you to have a fleet code. It's kind of stupid. But that's how a lot of dealerships are able to keep their volume up. They can sell a whole lot of volume work trucks. Those are the more affordable ones. But even a work truck, it's $50,000 nowadays. So there really are no more really affordable trucks. And then also to have the reliability issues and all this going on with Ford. And they were really big on pushing EVs and all this stuff. And maybe they're trying to offset their losses because they lose so much money on EVs. So they have to sell more expensive trucks and SUVs in order to offset their losses because they're losing so much on that Lightning and that EV Mach-E Mustang. I mean, we'll see 2023s on their lot EV-wise sitting for 2 years. So the demand is not there. Prices are too high. And I think Ford just completely lost the plot. What are they thinking? $80,000 to $100,000 vehicles at your Ford dealership all over the place. It doesn't make sense. They're trying to be something that they're not. For them, it's all about maximizing their profit right now. But if they offered a more affordable vehicle that wouldn't make them as much money, like maybe an affordable sedan, they would get more customers in. And then in the long run, they'll build that customer loyalty because people get stuck on these brands and they're like, I'm just going to buy a Toyota. I'm just going to buy a Ford. So brand loyalty can be a real thing. People just get stuck on these brands. But if you buy a Ford and you end up having recall after recall, or issue after issue, are you going to buy another one again? So I think they also run through a lot of their customers. Some of their new customers they're just running through them because issue after issue, almost every vehicle you get, it's just recall after recall. If not some sort of reliability issue, which is not cool when you're spending this kind of money on this kind of vehicle. Brand new vehicles having issues. But let me know, would you buy any of these brand new Fords for 80, 90 grand, even if you got a discount from the dealer? I know most are saying I'll keep what I have. That's why the average person's keeping their vehicle over 12 years. It's just getting longer and longer, and people don't want to go buy these brand new, overpriced, unreliable vehicles. But let me know what you think. Have a great day and stay blessed.